Yo, I thought I'd do a little slider guide. This is all about track sliders. What are they? What kinds are there? And what do they do? And now I've split them up between 4 different groups. And I just kind of wanted to go over them, kind of like a little bit of a buyer's guide, and show you guys what's out there. First thing I want to talk about is this. This is not a track slider. This is what's called a free-floating slider, meaning there is no track. You can do whatever the hell you want with this thing. Anything goes, which is pretty cool. Now, these are cool, but the only drawback is you can lose a part of it, like especially when you're driving or walking, you can drop it. So sometimes it's nice to mix it up with these track sliders. All right, first thing I'd like to talk about is, this group right here. Smallest group, let's start with you. So these are a form of track slider that fans out. So this is the Lottie Shuffle, copper and brass. It's got a track, this is the version 2. This has a track, a double track right here. And you've got these little, you see the little points there that go along the track? Okay, so it's a track slider, but it just is meant to fan. Now this one's cool because it also clicks on this end. I used to think that this was just like a showpiece, meaning that it doesn't really have much functionality, but I love it. I actually love it. Now this just came out. This is from Mui, and this is the Peacock feathers in brass. Now this also is a fan slider. Same type of mechanism. So you can see the little post there, except it fans out wider than this one. And it's bigger overall. So you can see the slots there. And also, it looks like there's... Sorry. It looks like that there's magnets on the bottom there. What is that for? I don't know why there's magnets on the bottom. Might have to put these dogs out. So the main difference between these two is it fans a lot wider. So this, I think new goes for like $100. This goes for like $160, I think, or $180. Yeah. Again, this is the Lottie Shuffle. Yep. All right. So let's move on. Let's talk about these. This is kind of my miscellaneous pile. So first thing, one of the things that started it all was the Gao Studios Owl. See, Gao Owl. The reason why it's called an owl is because it looks like an owl. Now these little eyes right here are just aesthetic. They don't do anything. They don't click or anything. But the whole purpose of this was that it's got a bearing on it. You see, it slides along this track with the bearing. And it's supposed to be a slider that also can spin. So you can spin it around. And then also, while it's in this closed position, you can click it. You can still find these, but I don't think they're that bad. I think they're like, I think you can get them for like maybe $80. I'm not sure. But this was like one of the first ever fidgets I got. And a lot of people don't like it, but I kind of like it. I think it's nice. But anyway, it disappointed a lot of people because it's one of those multi-fidgets that does a lot of things but doesn't excel at any one thing. So it's not a great spinner, it's not a great slider, and it's not a great clicker. But it is a pretty cool multi-fidget. But I know a lot of people don't like it. Okay, so then... this is another oldie, but I actually recently got this, but this came out a long time ago. This is from Compaform. This is the Gravaspa. Yeah. So this is another multi-fidget. The reason why I'm talking about these is because, again, we're talking about tracks. So technically this is a track because it can only go along the track. Okay, so this spins like a top because it's got this little bottom here. Now, this is from Compaform. They're not making them anymore, but I love Compaform and I really wanted this piece. This is actually brass, but it's like a tarnished brass, which is awesome. But anyway, this clicks, if you can see, and then it also has a little track that you can slide. Now, this is another example of a multi-fidget that doesn't do any one thing perfectly, but I wanted to show it to you guys since it's a track. But it'd be very hard to find one of these. But I wanted to show you this also because this is also Compaform right here. And this is a very good example of how far they've come. This you can actually still buy, I think, in the groups. But look at the difference. Can't see the magnets here. And they're textured and welded together. This is insane. But anyway, this is the Clover. So it's also a track slider because you can see that here's a post here and it goes along this track. So a lot of times with track sliders, the post has to be facing downward in order for it to work properly. So see, I can flip it around here. My dogs are making so much noise. I might have to put them out. Okay, hold on a second. Hey, righty, I am back. Okay, so the Clover got nice strong magnets and go side to side, up and down. Ooh, sometimes it's even hard to do that. And then you can also flip it around. And they also have a coin that has a track, but they haven't made them in a while and I don't have any. I think it's Laugh Now, Cry Later coin. I just didn't like the graphic on it. I thought it was freaky. See, you can flip it up and flip it around. So that's another example of a track. So this one also has a track, but it's got these little nubs which go along the track. So, and then the last in the miscellaneous is this Pig X slider. So it's also got a track, but it's got a pin in the track, so you can't actually get it out unless you unscrew it. So this one, it's like it's a collaboration between Cosmo and YEDC, which has the pig sliders. That's these. Believe it or not, this is fucking awesome. So these are both collaborations. So this is 42 Cosmo and YEDC, and this is also 42 Cosmo and YEDC. So YEDC, their symbol's like the pig, but then 42 Cosmo has the it looks like a Saturn ring thing. So pretty interesting. They're both very big fidget companies. So this one's a clicker, and then it also is a slider, which I like this one a lot over the other Cosmos that I've had because the magnets are way stronger. So, and you can flip it around. So, I love that one. Okay, so those are the miscellaneous ones. So now let's talk about these, yeah. What I like about these, and actually theoretically this one might be able to fall into this category, but this category are track sliders that have a certain movement where you can go up, down, and around. Now, with this one in particular, this pig one, you actually can put balls in there and have it a traditional slider. Same exact thing with the Mahjong. You see? Well, I mean, they're not really balls, but that you can put the nubs in there. And so when the nubs are in there, it can't do that twist motion because it's got a tighter track, essentially. It keeps it on those points. But I like that motion of flipping around. Okay, so we've got the YDC pig slider, which I love. But again, you could have this just like the soap one that just goes up and down. And then this one as well. I like this one. It's a little bit more awkward than the other one. It's much fatter. See, look at that shit. And also way fucking more expensive than this thing. This thing I got for like $100. This thing was like, I traded for it, but this thing is like 200. Oh, and this also has a little clicker. But I just really like it aesthetically. I had the PEI one for a while, and I sold it, and I kind of regret it, but I'll just keep this Zerk one. Okay, then this is one of the first ones I got also. I'd actually sold my stainless steel one, but I wanted to get the contrasting color one. So you see this also kind of is the same as this one, where you can put the balls in there. And it works really nice, but I'm obsessed with this move right here. So this is the Chenyu, I think it's called the Battle Shield. This one's not expensive either. You can get it for like, I mean, when I say not expensive, I say comparatively, okay? All of these are fucking expensive, I know, I'm sorry. But anyway, this one you can get like $70. And it's got that same motion. And I'm just going to introduce all these, and then I'm going to rank them. And then, of course, we've got the Compaform. This is the V1.1. So let me show you what this looks like. So this looks very similar to the Clover, except it's longer, and it doesn't have a cross track. So basically, it's meant to just do that. Now you might say, God, that's really simple. No. It's perfect. Like I said, you know, jack of all trades, master of none, you know. Just because a fidget does many, many things doesn't necessarily mean any one of those things are worth anything. So that's Compaform. These are expensive. Each of these Compaform things are like fucking like $300. It's insane. But he welds these things closed. Okay. And I know a lot of people tell me, you're so materialistic. Okay. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't buy fancy clothes. You know, this is what I spend my money on. This is my hobby. Okay. So this is the ACEDC stamp. And this is actually another one of those that you are actually really meant to put the balls in. But it does this really cool thing. It's really nice because it's small and the magnets are very, very strong. So very pocketable. Sometimes these bigger things are kind of take up a lot of real estate in your pocket, you know, and if you're going to be gone a long time, kind of nice to have something small. So anyway, I kind of learned from some other people in the fidget groups that you can face it away from you and then kind of flip it forward. And that's how you could do this one. The reason why this one is a little bit different is if you take a look, the post is all the way up on top. See it? Whereas this one, I'll show you. The post is in the middle. Can you see? So the sliding action is way different. Hold on. See, the post always got to go down. Otherwise, you can't do that motion. So I can go all the way up, flip it around, go all the way down, do whatever I want. Whereas this one, I can't do all that because the post is all the way on top. So I've got to do, like if I were, I can't like slide it up right now because the post is all the way up. So I can slide that there. I mean, it's really meant to be like just up and down like this. But you know me and everybody in the fidget community, we like to be fancy. We like to do some fancy stuff with our sliders, right? So I learned that you could do a little nice move here. So anyway, so like I said, I was going to introduce each one of these, and then I'm gonna kind of rate them. And then this one right here, these are also track sliders, but these are more linear. There's only an up and down motion on these. You can't flip it around. There's no like special, you know, secret moves you can do with them. Like the first one right here is the Bubble by Metal Toys. Now you might say, God, that looks very basic. It is basic. It's got a track inside, and you can actually change up the track, and it's screwed in there so you can't move it around, but it's meant to be kind of modified. But it's very, kind of feels like popping bubbles, and it just feels so really nice. But that's all it does. I like it a lot, though. I'm never getting rid of that. This I got, and at first I hated it, but I actually really like it now. This is from Chamingo, which I guess they make knives too. And it's a track slider because if you see right there, one side is raised up and one side is not. And so that's kind of how they fit into each other. So now it's another really small one here. And also what makes this one cool is it's got this removable plate. So you can actually get the other plates and swap them out. Now, here's the thing. I've seen a ton of these Chamingo sliders, but I've never seen the plates sold separately. But I still think it's cool as hell. And it actually, for me, adds another layer to the fidgetability of this bad boy. It's like sometimes in my pocket, I'll just take this out. Let's put that back in. It's held together by magnets, you see? So it just magnetically holds in there. So, okay. Then we've got the Mackies. We've got the CP2 and CP5. I sold my CP3. Don't judge me. So this is another track slider. I've thought about selling this thing a number of times, but another one of my originals, I just can't get myself to. Plus, it's got this awesome anodization on it. It's just big. I don't even think they're making them anymore. Not my favorite, but it's kind of iconic, you know? Then we've got the CP5, which is a complete track slider. You can't remove anything of it unless you unscrew it. Listen to that. There's no magnet. It's just strictly track, and it just feels so nice. Plus, it's a really nice size. You know, a lot of these companies think bigger is better, but that's not true when it comes to fidgets, because fidgets are little things that you keep on you, you know, and they've got to be usable. Okay, and then I was gonna rebuy the CP3, but then Lefty EDC bought this and sent it to Fidget Focus and then sent it to me. And this is a knockoff, but it's way better than the original CP3 because of the magnet strength. Oh, listen to that. Oh, so nice. And this thing costs like 15 bucks. I did a whole video on it, so. But each piece comes off, and there's magnets on both sides, and there's this like little post, oh shit, that goes in there. Now this that you see right here is like a sliding tape, just to kind of make it slide easier. The other little hidden thing that you can do is flip one of the parts around. Oops, shit. Yeah, and then kind of make it into like a clicker. But this thing's awesome. Okay, so you can see that these, you can only just play with it the way they're meant to. Okay, so now let's rate them out of each category. I would have to say that out of this category, I know it's freaking weird, but like this knockoff one, it's just so poppy and so satisfying, and it's like the perfect size. See, the original CP3 was the same exact like design, and I know knockoffs are bad, but the magnet strength makes it just perfect. It's just awesome. So I have to say that this one is the best out of this category. I'm sorry. Yep. So I know that I had this little, oh shit. I know I had this little subcategory here, of these fanned ones. And I know it's only two. So usability. Yes, this one's prettier and everything, but it's actually, I think, easier to use this fan one than this one. think about it. You usually use the fidget one-handed. So you gotta like get it in the right spot. Now this is also a clicker, which is cool. This one's just easier to use one-handed. I'd say they're very similar, but really, I kind of think this one's a little bit more fun. Now this one's aesthetically more pleasing. Now, I did try the newer versions of this fan, at the Peacock feathers or whatever, and it was like the polished zirconium ones. You'll see it in my prior videos, and that one's trash. This is the brass one. I also have a titanium one, and it's heavy and thick and nice. So I would definitely go for this version. But these are both definitely, you know, really good fidgets. But you gotta like that fan motion. It's not a ton you can do with it, and it's a little bit awkward, okay? So like if I were to pick something out of one of these categories, I wouldn't pick one of these, but I'm going to use this as the one I picked from that category. And don't you worry, I'm gonna pick the winner out of all these. So these are the ones that were just kind of miscellaneous. Definitely knocking these two out right away. It's close between these. The clicker's okay, but yeah, I'm gonna have to say that the Compaform's better. You know, these makers sometimes don't realize how important magnet strength is. Listen to that. Ooh. It's not just about looks, it's about the auditory feedback as well as the physical feedback. Hear that snap? That does something for us. Okay, so those are the ones that I like out of that. And then here we go. I'm gonna knock this guy right out because he's cool as shit, but awkward. This one is cool as shit as well, but just doesn't slide that smoothly. It feels a little bit gummy. I don't know why, but it looks cool as hell. Also, a little fun fact about this one. You actually can take off the faceplates. Pretty cool, huh? That's actually how you can get the thing apart. They both come out, so like look here. Ugh. See? So that's how you would take it out, and that's where you can find the track. But yeah, this kind of gums up a little bit, so. All right, between these three. This one is cool as hell, but it's a little blocky. I love the design, but functionality, it's really heavy and it's kind of thick and blocky. So, I love this, especially the fact that it's very loose and I could like really, really move it around. And for the money, this thing is baller. This is like $100 and this is like $300. So like all day long, this thing, you know, would win. However, this is not just about, you know, what is cost effective. So I would actually have to go with the Compaform because you hear those clicks? And also, sorry, YEDC. Also, check out this finish on there. If you turn it a certain way, it's purple, and then another way, it's blue. Cool, huh? Okay, so here we go. Best out of the 3 categories. Now, which is the best out of these 4 categories? Right away, I'm gonna knock the fan out. Now, I love the fan, it's cool, but a little awkward to move. Now, I do play with this one all the time because, like, it feels good in your hand, it's got a lot of clicks, but again, it's kind of awkward. All right. I better not let the fucking knockoff win. That would be horrible. Okay. Now, I will say that I play with the Clover more than I play with this bad boy. Because I like this motion. You see it? And it's very small, so I can play with it with my left hand. Feel that? This one I don't play with as much, but it's pretty baller. Hear that? Oh. But this one makes good feedback too. Oh. All right, I'm gonna have to, it's painful, but I'm gonna have to knock this one out. Okay. All right, you know what? I'm gonna have to do a tie here. I know it's so fucking crazy, but this bitch is like $300. This is like $15. But for track sliders, I mean, they're like the best of the best. I really like the way this thing moves. It also comes with a lanyard, but I took it off because I'm lame like that. But I just like the way that you can go up and down, side to side, you know, backwards, forward. You can bring it all the way up, and then you can switch it around like this, you know, spin it, bring it back down, bring it up. Then you can turn it and close it down with it. You know, there's a lot of ways you can play with this. This one, you could only do it this way. Oh, but it feels so nice. Oh, all right. I guess I would have to pick this one, but this is a very, very close second. This one is awesome. But yeah, the winner will have to be, for track sliders, for what I have right now, will be the Clover, the Compaform Clover. So there she is, folks. Here they all are, except that was just the free floating. But as usual, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and have a great night.